I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're diving into the mesmerizing journey of humanity's earliest spiritual awakenings with Jaime Reyes. He's the author of In the Beginning, The Early Days of Religious Beliefs. Discover how ancient rituals, Neanderthal misconceptions, and a lifetime of curiosity culminate in a groundbreaking exploration of faith's origins. Join us right now as we unravel the mysteries of our ancestors' beliefs, guided by a narrative 60 years in the making. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank our team at Prime 7 Media for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his insightful book. The links are below this interview. Jaime, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Good morning.
Good morning. This book is very, very unique in that it delves into the spiritual practices of early humans. What inspired you to explore the beginning or the genesis of religious beliefs? And was there a surprising discovery you made during your research?
Yes, well, when I was about 12 years old, I had a problem with religion. I didn't I questioned its validity, and I there was a I've been writing for a long time. Even when I was 12 years old, I was writing poems and different things. But a school newspaper, elementary school, had a contest for the students, a statewide contest to write an essay or a book report or something, well, in any subject. So I chose my primary concern, religion. So I did a lot of research. Back then, there was no internet. There was only libraries and encyclopedias. So I did a lot of research on compare, and I want to compare the ancient religions to the new religions. And I came to the conclusions that the old ones, Greek mythology, Roman mythology, all those different religions, they all died out and got replaced by new ones. So I figured, why can't the new ones be replaced by another one somewhere in the future? So I wrote about I compared all the religions, what they believed in, and I came to the conclusion that this had to have a beginning at some point. This just didn't pop out. No, someone had to come up with the idea of organizing people's beliefs. People always believed in spirits, or because they didn't know where the sun came from, or they don't know what caused the rain. So they attributed it all to spirits or gods or whatever the imagination uh, conjured up. So uh, what I what I started thinking was someone had to think it up. So I wrote the essay, and I didn't win, but I got honorable mention. But I put the idea aside. But I would think about it quite frequently and add stuff to it. I I chose I chose Neanderthals because I did genealogic my DNA study, and I found that I have 3% Neanderthal DNA,
Hmm.
as does everybody from European descent. Just about everybody has 1 to 4% Neanderthal descent. So, and they were not the ape-like creatures that are depicted in the movies and other stories. The newest research says that they were very, very intelligent. Their speech had to be modern, as complex as modern speech. Uh, but anyway, I chose them, and I created a character that was very old and very wise, and he knew that his tribe had religious beliefs, but he was too old to go hunting, and he needed to eat. So he came up with the idea of organizing the beliefs and declared himself as the speaker of the gods, or the speaker of the spirits. And they would listen to him. And during a bad situation with a storm, he went to the chief and told him, I can fix this. I can do dances and incantations and ease the spirit of the storms is angry, and I have to appease him. So he made up all kinds of gestures and incantations and stuff. And he knew the storm was going to stop because he was old. He had more experience than the regular people, than the younger people in his tribe. Most Neanderthals lived to be no more than their 40s, and he was already in his 50s and 60s. He was very old. So anyway, they respected him for his wisdom and at his age. And the storm ended like he expected it would, and he said it was a good idea, so he started making up other spirits for the sun, for whatever, any natural occurrence, and a god of war. He even invented a god of war, so he would do prayers for the warriors when they went out hunting, and they would have to the spirit for hunting. He had a hunter spirit, and he would bless them and do little, and the things. He also give them advice because you have a lot of experience. So that for some reason everything got better for the tribe, and he took credit for just about everything that happened, and they started giving him gifts. He became quite prosperous. As
Mm.
the years went by, uh, he ended up getting remarried with it because the women loved him because of what his power, his position, and he passed on this information to his children and his grandchildren, and they passed it on, and they organized religion. They became sort of like the Borgia family of the 1400s, 1300s,
Hmm.
and the Medici family, who controlled the church. Both families in different eras controlled the church, the Medici family and the Borgia family. And it was my idea that from that beginning, religion spread
Hmm.
because his family moved on to other tribes and they spread the word and they become speakers or priests. They became the first priest of all the different villages. And excuse me, and they acquired a lot of power. And as they moved on, as generations passed on, the religious beliefs grew and became, at one point, became uh, the most powerful persuasive power ever created.
Mm.
Right now, there's two of them. There's religion and there's politics.
Yeah.
Uh, Everybody is kind of cultish, and everybody, the religion you have depends on where you were born or what your parents teach you.
Yeah.
If you had been born in Iraq, you'd be a Muslim.
Right.
Born in India, you'd be a Hindu, more than likely. And if and or in Israel, you'd be a Jew.
Right.
And the parents, if they move on, they pass on the religion to their children. And for example, here we have so many people that we have a great combination: Presbyterian, Mormons, and everything. So many different ones. And nobody really knows what comes after.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks they do, but nobody. Everybody believes their religion is the real one,
Right.
the absolute ultimate one. And who knows? They may be right. Nobody really knows.
It all comes down to a matter of faith. And
It
your
comes
faith,
down to a
like you
matter of
said, is
faith.
often determined by geographic factors and your parents and so on.
And
Very few people just choose their religion out of the blue. Generally, it's been
there is
handed to them by
also
their
another
folks.
cause. It's cultish, peer influence,
Yeah,
or they can be convinced by a guru or someone. Like there are plenty of people out there now
sure.
doing this. Like Jones, with the Jones, the with the Kool Aid. They drank the Kool
Yeah,
Aid because they
exactly.
believed him so much that it was a cult and they believed anything he said, so they
Right.
followed
Or
him.
even Scientology. People, you
Scientology, yeah,
flock to
that's a new one.
Scientology, and that's a choice. They're not born generally into
Yes.
Scientology. We're almost out of time, but I wanted to ask you, what do you hope folks take away from your book? What do you hope they learn from it?
Well, I want to spread the message. I want people to know, to understand why they believe what they believe. Not
Hmm.
that they're wrong, right or wrong, but why they're in that particular sect or that particular religious beliefs. And they may change their minds or they may want to try something different or it might change something. And I've read that religion will die out in 1,000 years. There'll be no more religion. People will rise up and or change their minds or maybe replaced by other religions. And if I could be part of that change in the future, I would kind of enjoy that. I'm not going to be around, but uh, I want the message out. I want people to know what they believe in and why they believe in what they believe. What they do
Exactly.
with it, that's up to them.
It's a great idea to question your faith, to examine it, and see if this is truly what you believe, is this truly in your heart, or was it just handed to you? And if you make the decision on your own, that's impactful. It has some power and some significance, don't you think?
Yes, because of my comparison is, let's say you want to go to New York, you take a bus, but
Mhm.
suppose you get on the wrong bus and end up in Ohio. Well, suppose you have a religious belief that you follow all through your life, and then when you die, you find out that whoa, you knock on the pearly gates and say, no, 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 you're a Presbyterian, you should have been a Baptist. I mean, how do people know they're in the right track
Exactly.
or on the right bus?
Or in the right church and in the right pew, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
As we like to say. Jaime Reyes has written a powerful book. It is called In the Beginning, The Early Days of Religious Beliefs. He takes a look at ancient rituals, Neanderthal misconceptions, and he explores a lifetime of curiosity that culminates in a groundbreaking work, an exploration of the origins of faith. It's an amazing book. It'll help you along your spiritual journey because it'll be much more than just simply accepting what was handed to you by your parents, but questioning it, examining it, and coming to your faith by choice rather than by circumstance.
I have a new book.
Okay,
It's called
cool.
The Lazarus Syndrome.
All right.
Why can't I die? It just came out. It just came out online yesterday. Uh, and that has to do with a particular medical condition where people are declared dead officially, but they come back to life in minutes or hours or even days later. And the thing is, it was rarely reported because doctors, it's not as rare as people think it is. It is quite common.
Yeah,
But what's rare is the reporting of the event because doctors want to avoid lawsuits and legal. They didn't take care of the guy well enough. They didn't do enough compressions or whatever, whatever reason. Anyway, the thing is that I am a survivor of the Lazarus effect. But the difference between my survival and the regular one is most people do it only once. I have done it quite a few times.
amazing.
Uh, I did a lot of research and I tried to find events that were similar to mine. One of them in particular was Pablo Picasso. He was still born just as I was, and he was resuscitated exactly the same way I was, which was an antique way of doing CPR, but it worked for him and it worked for me, and we were 64 years apart.
Amazing.
So he is the first. The book deals with case histories of different levels of some people come back in days, some come back in their coffin, some come back uh, at the first incision for an autopsy, some come back in a body bag as they take them to the morgue. Uh, some come back after they're buried. It's a little late then, but they've exhumed bodies and have found the scratches on the where they come back after they're buried. It's a
Amazing.
very very nasty situation. I wouldn't want to be there.
Jaime, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Very good, thank you.
My pleasure to the folks at home. I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.
Very good.